Colby Covington had a fight with Joaquin Buckley this weekend, and he didn't look good at all. I don't mean that from a fighting aspect, even though he didn't look good fighting either. Colby Covington does not look good. You could see it in his eyes. You could see it when he's talking to Chael Sonnen. This is not the same Colby Covington prior to the George Masvidal incident, where the punk George Masvidal, because that's what it was. It was you-know-what move. Sneaking up behind Colby with a mask on and punching him in the head a few times. I really do believe that Colby was seriously injured in this assault. It's a total scum you-know-what move on Masvidal's part. Masvidal is a total piece of you-know-what. Masvidal had 25 minutes to put hands on Colby Covington during their fight. Couldn't lay a punch on Colby Covington. Nothing. Not one. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't out-wrestle him. Couldn't hit him. Could not do anything. And this excuse, well, he was talking about my kids. And, you got all emotional because you got your ass kicked in a real UFC fight. You use that as an excuse to be the coward punk that you are and run up behind Colby and punch him when he wasn't looking. I don't want to say that he has brain damage, but he definitely has an injury from that assault. Colby is one of the toughest guys on the planet. This fight this last weekend, he's a tough guy. He took shots that I don't think a lot of guys could have taken. He kept coming. The fight was stopped because he had a bad cut. He didn't look well. If you watch the fight in the wrestling scrambles, he just looks slow. He looks super slow. He's talking slower. He's fighting slower. He's moving slower. This has nothing to do with age or a lack of skill. This has to do with the assault that he was the victim of by that punk coward piece of you-know-what, Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal's a piece of you-know-what. Let's watch Colby do this interview with Chael Sonnen. You could see it in his eyes. He doesn't look or sound like the same Colby Covington. I really feel for him. He's an elite caliber athlete, one of the toughest guys on the planet. But somebody needs to tell him that it's over before he really gets hurt.
You look forward to this fight with Buckley. How did we get here? I mean, this just doesn't seem like the kind of match. I can't remember you having a match that wasn't a championship match or a title match. And now we've got Buckley. It seems like he's getting a bit of an opportunity to be raised up. Tough opponent, but an opportunity. Why'd you give it to him?
Yeah, so, I called Hunter Campbell when Bilal backed out of the title fight against Shavkat. I wanted to fight Shavkat. I wanted to expose him and prove the hype wasn't real.
I'm sorry, but when you look into Colby's eyes, my opinion, something is not right. He looks like somebody that was badly injured in some type of accident. I really, truly believe this with all my heart. He does not look well. He should not be fighting. He should not be fighting. I know I'm good, I feel great, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm sure that's what he tells Dana. If you watch that fight and you watch the scrambles with Joaquin Buckley, he doesn't look well. And it's not because of age or he lost his skill set. Again, he was badly injured from that assault by that coward Jorge Masvidal.
So I offered to fight Shavkat, but Hunter wanted to go the direction of undefeated. So he said, hey, but if you want to fight, we really want you to fight Buckley in the main event of Tampa. Can you come save the day? So I said, yeah, I'm a company man. I love this company more than anything. So, this isn't about giving Buckley the opportunity. This is about doing good business for the company.
Sure. When the opportunity came up to fight in Florida, how important was Florida specifically to you?
Florida was super important since I live 3 hours south down the road in Miami. This is my home state now. I've lived here for 16 years, so I'm a Floridian. So, my friends can just drive up the I-95 to get here. So I'm excited. I know a lot of friends are coming here, so it's important to defend home turf.
Rakhmonov versus Gary. Were there any surprises there? Did Gary overperform? Did Shavkat underperform? What did you see?
I think they both underperformed. I thought, their stock went down. They didn't show anything special, that they're the cream of the crop and they're these young contenders that are going to take over the top of the division.
Listen to Kobe's voice. Listen to his voice. He does not sound the same. He does not sound well. He sounds like somebody that suffered some type of brain injury or trauma, and he definitely did. I'm sorry.
They look like guys that I could easily pick off, and I'm excited for what's next and being able to get my hands on Rachmanov.
There was a report that came out yesterday, and it said the winner of Covington versus Buckley could be the contender for Rachmanov in an interim fight in the absence of Blal. Have you heard that?
I haven't heard that, but if they're going to do an interim, he's already been out, 6 months now. I think they might as well just do undisputed. They need to strip him and just do the undisputed because he might not be coming back anytime soon.
And speaking of undisputed, your old college teammate, John Jones, is the undisputed champion in the presence of an interim champion, which, by the way, I got to tell you, I believe undisputed, there can't be an interim champion, but there is. We also have an interim champion in the presence of a undisputed. This is really an unprecedented time. Are they going to fight each other? Is there any other option at heavyweight as you see it?
There's no other option. John's going to vacate the title. Everybody knows he's scared of Aspinall. Aspinall would starch him and leave him in a pool of his own blood. So just like he ducked Ngannou for 3 years when Ngannou was on top, he didn't want to fight him. He knows it's a bad matchup with Aspinall as well. So I think he vacates the title before unifying the titles.
And you know John before anybody else. Do you believe that he literally would vacate a title and leave the sport to avoid Tom Aspinall?
I do believe that. He has such a big ego that he's not going to risk having that shattered. He goes and cries at home just when people talk bad about him on the internet. He's a big feelings guy, so he doesn't want to give this up-and-comer a chance to take everything he's worked for, and he wouldn't be able to sleep good at night the rest of his life.
All right, Colby, looking forward to the main event. It's you versus Buckley. When you close your eyes at night and you're picturing who you got to go through, the greats, Kamaru Usman, BMF champion, and George Masvidal, interim title fight against RDA. Was there ever a time that you pictured Buckley? I mean, is this a new opponent? Was there time to study this young man?
No, there was never time to study him. He was never on my radar. Never thought I would cross paths with him, and never studied him. I'm not worried about what he's doing. I want to push the pace, and he's going to have to worry about what I'm going to do. But never, ever expected to have this guy on my radar. I've only fought in champions and main events and title fights the last 8 years. So it's definitely something unexpected, but this is a company fight. This is about doing good business for the company and showing that I'm the ultimate company man that's dependable.
5 rounds. You are a king of the 5-rounder. Buckley has never done 5 rounds. How relevant does that become? Do you feel that the lights might get a little too bright when we see 18 minutes, when we see 20 minutes? Is that something that he's made to do?
I don't think so. I don't think he's built from that same cloth. I think that as the fight progresses into the later rounds, I think he's going to break. I think I'm going to break his will. And, he's an explosive fighter and he has big muscles, but those muscles are going to fill up with lactic acid and a lot of burn. And I don't think he's going to be able to keep that sustainability the whole fight.
One of your trainers, Coach Albert, is a 2-time Olympian. His brother's an Olympian. His old man was into boxing. And it's very hard to get a generational guy like that. Generally, guys like that will only train family members. Albert was not training anybody. He met you and he said, I'm willing to come out and train this young man because of the work ethic. How important has Coach Albert been getting your hands ready and getting your mind ready for this fight?
Yeah, Coach Albert's been a huge help. I had to get back to the drawing board, get my hands right. Everybody doesn't think that I have punching power and, that I can mix the martial arts. So Albert's been a big help in getting my hands right, keeping my hands up, being the right angles, footwork, and a lot of running. I gave up on running the last couple of years, so he's got me a lot back more into running because that's what the boxers do, and he has me sharp, and I'm ready to go put those skills to work this weekend.
Colby, you're an All-American wrestler from the great Oregon State under the even greater Jim Zaleski, but the last time you took on a known striker was Robbie Lawler, and you kept that fight standing up. You did your damage. I still remember those elbows and the knees from the clinch. Now you're in there with another guy known for striking.
When Colby fought Robbie Lawler, that was a prime Colby. That was a brutal, vicious Colby. Colby's still a super tough guy. He's one of the toughest guys on the planet.
You gonna stand up and bang with this guy? Is this gonna be a surprise? Planning to take him down?
I'm going to blend the martial arts. I'm definitely not afraid to stand with him, and there's going to be, moments where we're standing. Last time I fought Robbie, I made history in the welterweight division with most strikes landed, most significant strikes landed. So this is going to be another vintage performance like that, and there will be some standing, but can't forget my roots, where I came from. That's the wrestling community, and I'm definitely going to put a lot of that in the game plan.
All right, Colby, and for our audience that may not know this, right outside of this room is the weigh-in room. You just got done beating the scale. I know you're dehydrated. I can hear it in your throat. We're going to let you go. I believe in you on a personal note. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Uncle Joe.
I think this interview is very telling. I know people are going to say, oh, he was dehydrated in the interview. This has nothing to do that he's not playing the MAGA character. This has nothing to do with any of that. I don't think that Colby's talking slower. I think it has nothing to do with dehydration, the way he's talking and acting. Colby Covington isn't right. He was seriously injured by that piece of you-know-what, Masvidal, and it shows. I don't think Colby will ever be the same. It's not a knock on him. He's had a great career, but I think it's over. Somebody needs to tell him before he gets seriously hurt. I hate saying that, but that's the reality. That's my opinion. That's what I see. If you watch his fight this past weekend, yeah, he took some incredible punishment. He kept coming, like the old fighter that doesn't know when to quit. If you watch the scrambles and everything, he got pushed off like a bit. It was so slow. Like the guy was just like, this is not the same Colby Covington. This isn't the same Colby that fought Robbie Lawler. Masvidal, you're a piece of you-know-what. Couldn't lay a hand on the guy for 25 minutes, and like the punk coward that you are, had to come up behind the guy with a mask on and punch him because you're a piece of you-know-what.